what a life. Howie and I, ow, ow, ow. Howie's going to help me clean the house this weekend. Hey, give me a second here. Get my hair back up. Where the heck is my hairpin? It was right here.
So we combine these two technologies.
Well, I'm just going to have to put it up in a tail again, I guess. Oh. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to get in. Hey, Tina. Hey, Becky. How are you? Hi, Celeste. How are you, darling? I do my best to try and give everybody a heads up in Messenger, but I don't always have it going. Hi, Tina, Rosie, Erin, Mary Cook. Hi, darling. All right, I'm going to sit here and do some business. What are you? I thought I had. Give me a second here. All right, well, that'll just have to work, won't it? Oh, right, okay. I have a little drawer that pulls out under this desk. And for some reason, oh, I see. Okay, there we go. Nope, get down. Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down. Good night, baby. Now I need a hairpin to fix my thing. How's everybody doing tonight? I tell you, it was a scorcher today. It really was. Where are my hairpins? Where are all my hairpins? There's one. Hey, Mom, doing stuff. Paula Armendaries? I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Teresa, hi. Oh, I better shoot. Lisa Allen from Texas. Hello. Lori M. Hello. So I just got off the phone with my cousin Pat. He's on his way to Nova Scotia. He's in New Brunswick now, and I missed the call early today because during the day I never have my phone on. Like, you know, people get frustrated when they try and call me, right? Because I never have my phone on. Heck, I don't even look for messages half the time because I never get any. And because I work, if I'm filming or if I'm editing or if I'm out in the garden or I'm canning or anything, I don't have time to be interrupted. And it's really sad because I actually probably missed a visit from my cousin today. Caitlin, Colette, Rumble Bunny, Lori Peer, Tina Elliott, Celeste. So, it rained most of the day in eastern Oklahoma. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, rain's always a good thing, isn't it? Right? Not always, I guess. We got a little bit of rain today. We're supposed to maybe get some thunderstorms tonight. We had a little bit of rain earlier, but before that, I went out and pruned my zucchini. I'm telling you, yeah, by myself with walkers and stuff. I went out and pruned my zucchini, and I did a little update on, I watched a few videos on how to prune zucchini, so I hope I did it right. But then I watered them because, pruning is a traumatic event for the plant. So if you prune something, always water it. I don't know if this is true. Somebody verify it. But if you prune a plant, please water it afterwards. It helps it get over the shock. That's at least my belief, right? It's kind of like a cup of tea after stubbing your toe. You know what I mean? My peppers, actually, some of my peppers have little peppers on them. It's really awesome. Hey, FYI. My beans are climbing like crazy, but it was really, really hot today. And I got into the pool afterwards, and I thought my thing cracked, and I'm terrified. But what I might do is, I have a brilliant idea. Excuse me. Never mind. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a broom handle out with me. And instead of pushing, because I push on those railings that come up and they go, wow. And I've been doing it for years. I've had that stair railing, the stairs for this pool, they're from the original pool that we used to have. So these stairs have been around for a long time. I've had those stairs since 2005. But getting out, I realize I've got to have something different. So I'm going to leave a broom handle on the deck. And then when I get close to the top step, I'm just going to grab the broom handle and hook it on the posts coming up from the handles to pull myself up. Doesn't that make sense? Maybe even my walker. My walker might help. Hey, Linda Bob! How are you, darling? So, yeah, I went out and pruned. And I had to stop after every bed because it was so hot that I had to sit on my bench in the shade and catch my breath. But most of my carrots survived from transplanting. I think I lost a couple. And that other bed that I took the carrots from, I'm going to be putting in, it's probably in my box, but I'm going to be putting in Swiss chard. So, hey Karen, how's it going? What's this landline you speak of? It's not even a landline. When I asked Bell to put in a landline, they put in one of these into my Wi-Fi. I said, that's not a landline. If this goes out, this goes out. And they said, oh, yeah, well, they don't do landlines anymore. I now wishing I hadn't got rid of my landline. But I'm thinking of getting a CB. Doing good. Put a crock pot of ham and bean soup on low for tomorrow. Well, you know what I did? I'm gonna work while I talk. I did not want to cook today because it's just been hot as hell. And you should water the empty flower bed that you're transplanting into and then water them afterwards. I'm not transplanting into it. It's empty. I'm just going to pull the weeds out of it and then put Swiss chard in. Self-rising flour. What are we talking about? I tried making 2-ingredient biscuits for the first time ever today. I think I used the wrong kind of flour. They didn't rise. You didn't use self-rising flour. I don't use self-rising flour. I bought it once. I forget what it was for, but you know what? It's really good in homemade instant pancake mix. I gotta say that. I thought of doing ham radio too. Emerald, thank you. I haven't even got my cards out yet. When we first moved, when we bought our house in Colborne, I found a radio in an antique shop. And I got it for $10, and it had the record player that had 33, 75, 33 and a quarter, 75, and I think it was 18. What was the one for 8? No, 75, 33, and 45 is what it had. And self-rising flour is just flour with a lot of baking powder in it, sifted through it. That's all it is. That's all it is. Ooh, my ponytail tickled me. So I didn't want to cook tonight. And I thought, what am I going to make? Right? I can't make sandwiches. Remind me to pull you a card, Becky. I can't make sandwiches. I don't want to make cold chicken salad because we had spaghetti last night. So I thought, what can I make that's fast? That Howie's not gonna, that Howie's gonna enjoy as a full meal. I'm putting a small crock pot of lentils together to increase my magnesium. I'm tanking out of magnesium. Wow, you should get some more. You need to take magnesium with your calcium, right? And also, Epsom salts are magnesium sulfate. And the quickest way to get magnesium into your body is to have a bath with Epsom salts. Your skin is an organ. Remember that. Okay. And I want to share some stuff I heard today. The government is attacking herbal medicine here in Canada. I think you need a license as well here, but but I mean, I'd rather just have a home CB and a CB in each of our vehicles. So, hi Lynn Smith, how are you, darling? But the radio I bought, it had a radio, it had a radio and a record player. And I'm telling you, all that was missing was the plug off the electrical cord. And you know what I did? I bought it for $10. I took it home and I put a new cord on it because my dad was a electric man, right? Anything I do electric, I owe to my dad and to Howie. And I put a brand new cord on it and I plugged it in, and by God, that thing, when I turned the radio on, it went bong. I hadn't heard that since I was a kid. This had tubes in the back. Now, unbeknownst to me, I had to give that radio away. The only thing was missing was a needle for the record player, right? How much magnesium is needed daily? I don't know. I take, a 500, I don't know. I don't even know what magnesium tablets I take, what the strength is. But if you can't get in and out of a tub of Epsom salt bath, then soak your feet long in hot Epsom salts. Because your feet, your skin is an organ and it will absorb. But this radio was so old that it had shortwave on it. I was picking up music from Germany at Christmas time. It was beautiful. Anyway, yeah, I don't miss the 8-track either. I owe all the memories I have of Supertramp, Crime of the Century, because my friend Geraldine's brother had a party, and we were all there, and the 8-track had Crime of the Century stuck in it, and that was all we could listen to. But what I didn't know was when I gave that radio away because we couldn't take it with us when we moved, was that the tubes alone in that thing were worth $1,500 a piece. They're collector's items. So it's like, oh, and I don't know, I think there were 3 of them, right? And I paid $10 for it and then gave it away. But 500 milligram, right? That's, I think, what mine are. Hey, Ann Johnson, how's it going for Gigi? Carol McKinney, Carol Cook. Hi. So, yeah, I mean, it breaks my heart that I left that radio behind because all I had to do was order a needle for it online, like from a collector's thing. And it had 78 record. Mom, thank you. I'm going to get my cards out, but I got to finish rolling here first. So it was like, one of those things from my childhood, when the TV had tubes in it, right? When the TV itself was one big tube, right? Critical hit, love it. So I don't know what brought me to that, but I phoned my cousin who is now in New Brunswick, and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. People know I am not on my phone gets shut off. My phone is on for like 2 hours a day, like the ringer. Why? Because from the moment I get up to the moment I go to bed, to the moment I go to sleep, I'm working. And once I'm in bed, I read, or I'm catching up on videos that my cousin Angie keeps sending me, right? I saw this video. Let me see if I can get it for you guys. Just give me a second. And I'll show you what the hell's going on here in Canada. All right? Now, who sent that to me? I think I might have sent it to Angie. So I'm going to find it. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Okay. Who did I send it to? I think I sent it to... There it is. I'm going to see if I can't give this to you guys. Copy. Okay, there we go. because this is going to explain. Now, don't watch it until afterwards, but this is going to explain what the hell is going on in our country right now. All right, it's bad enough that Trudeau is doing everything he can to wreck our environment and blame it on the climate crisis, right? Which we know there's a pollution crisis, but a climate one, absolutely not. The climate's doing what it's always done, right? So, I saw this video, and I shared it with you guys because now the government is trying to eradicate herbal medication in this country. Have you, oh God help me, have you ever heard, like, our herb, okay, I'm gonna sum this up. Hey, Minnesota farmer's wife went to Moorhead today to see my oldest 20-year-old grandson being sworn in as a police officer. How proud you must be. That's wonderful. I have police people in my family. I think they're all retired now, but well, let me keep this real simple. No, they're not. They're going to try. They're going to try, okay? FYI. Grass, gas, or thumbs up. No one watches for free. Well, so a long time ago, and I can't remember when, so don't ask me. Do your own research. I encourage you doing your own research. And I'm going to set up my cards while I talk. I encourage everybody to do their own research, okay? The pharmaceutical industry patented the word medicine. And just in case I'm wrong, I'm going to make sure, well, I'm not going to look it up because I just do your own research, okay? The medical industry patented the word medicine, the pharmaceutical industry. Why? Because the pharmaceutical industry, hey Susie Q, the pharmaceutical industry makes chemical knockoffs of natural medicine. For instance, like everyone says, oh, you should try white willow bark for your pain. No, I can't have it because that's nature's aspirin, which is actually, I can't take aspirin, and natural aspirin would be even worse because it's more pure. All right? I am not a doctor. I am not a pharmacist. I am not a biologist, a scientist, or anything else. I'm just somebody who does a lot of research. Hi, Stacy and Sharon. So, the pharmaceutical industry patented the word medicine. Why? So that they could lay claim that only their products were actual medicine. Okay? So, herbal medicine and natural medicine got relegated to alternative medicine. Do you understand? Now, these folks all over the world, the Rockefellers and the elites and all the royal family, all these people are having their strings pulled by somebody else. It goes a lot higher. And they play a really long game. And the long game was to eradicate natural medicine. Now, our natural medicine and our homeopathic stores and herbalists and stuff, they're highly regulated. Highly regulated. Okay? And I'm going to give you an example of the mind of the generation under me. Okay? Like the doctor in the ER. Marijuana's not medicine, he said. I said, I beg to differ. Because, and my husband, how he took one look at my eyes, because I said, I beg to differ. And how he knows that look. And he said, my wife and I spent a year being fingerprinted, investigated, filling out forms, and going to countless doctors. It took almost a full year for her to get a license to use marijuana as medicine. So don't tell her it's not medicine, right? And he laughed. He thought that was really funny. I hope I never see this doctor again, this ER doctor. My point is now they're trying to regulate herbal medicine more, to the point where they're going to have to pay all these huge exorbitant fees to put out new herbal medicines. Colette, you have read some of my most favorite books to me while I work, and you do it eloquently. Well, thank you, Colette. Thank you. There will be more in the fall and winter. I'm going to do Little Women next. So, but I'm reading The Little House Live right now. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so that every time they submit to a medicine or an herbal remedy or whatever it is to stock on a homeopathic shelf, that they have to pay exorbitant, like $500,000 fees just to apply to have this recognized, right? Something that's already heavily regulated, very expensive as it is. They're going to send all of our homeopathic stores and herbalists and everything are going to move to the States because they won't be able to handle it. It will financially ruin the entire homeopathic industry of medicine, of natural medicine. So that's why I call natural medicine original medicine, not alternative. It's original medicine. Do you understand? So if you see that, if you can watch that video, I'm actually going to be doing a rumble on this really soon because it's pissing me off. Okay? So that's what our government's up to now, right? All this stuff's going on, and it's supposed to happen by 2025. So it's going to basically, and this is what this is. This is a parliamentary money grab. I'm going to end the politics right here. This is a parliamentary money grab from Trudeau, who can't get enough money. He is, upping the carbon tax, which shouldn't exist because Canada has a negative carbon footprint because of all our trees, which all of a sudden started burning down, right? He's forcing people into a position. They're forcing us into you get me? So what I suggest, and I'm soon going to be doing some herbal remedies videos. What I say this book, you find an herbal remedy book now and you won't find comfrey in it. Why? Oh, because it's scary, dangerous stuff. Not if you know what you're doing. Okay? I'm going to be doing a lot more. I'm going to be gathering plantain and yarrow and coltsfoot and more comfrey, and I'm going to be stocking my shelf, right? So tomorrow I'm making comfrey oil rub out of olive oil and comfrey, so that when I have joint pain I can rub it on, right? My blood boils every time I hear his name. Yep, Mom, I hear ya. See his face, especially when I hear his voice. I want, honest to God. And yet, I know people who think he's amazing. Who think, oh, yeah, but we're not going to vote for him. We're going to vote for NDP. You mean Singh? The man who is the party that is single-handedly holding up Trudeau. If it wasn't for Singh, Trudeau would have been gone by now, right? But Singh is backing everything Trudeau does so that Trudeau backs his stuff, right? Singh is no better. Sorry, that's it. We're all done talking about politics. Now, I have gotten some tips here. Is there anybody? Okay, Linda, are you here, darling? Can you tell me who was first working on learning herbs and their healing power? There is a plant remedy for every disease known to man, except the man-made diseases. But there's a plant remedy for every natural disease on the planet. We just haven't found them all yet. But that's okay. They're tearing everything down to build up mini cities anyway, right? Yep, Bill Gates just bought comfrey seed. Good for you. Okay, so if you want to know what kind of seeds, emerald. Okay. Becky, in a second, if you want, like, look at this book. I've had this book since 1995. And if you noticed the tabs I have on them, I've made those tabs. They are pink is respiratory, yellow is skin, blue is muscle and joints, and green, I forget what green is. I don't have green. So, I mean, you know, I've been looking into this stuff since I was a teenager. All right? Okay. Becky. Whoa! Did you see that? I was shuffling and that card just turned right over in it. Oh, I love this one. I don't even know what it is. I just love the picture. Becky, you got the sea turtle. Sea turtle is protection. You are a master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Persevere, and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected, and happy. But you need, like, this is you, Becky, okay? But I'm sensing that your alignment is a little off kilter. Maybe you're struggling with some anger issues or hurt issues. I'm sensing it's an emotional issue. But it says, be in harmony with the rhythm of life, and your path will unfold. And sometimes when we're hurt or we're in a place where we're angry, maybe at politics or anything like that, it throws our alignment off. It does. How can you be grounded and centered? I just got another card. How can you be grounded and centered if you're not content and centered and at peace? It's not an easy thing to do, but you are protected and you're also a protector, okay? Dear love, and here, Becky, for the second card, because I went to put them away and another one fell out. Dear, for love. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. So I think that falls on the heels that you're struggling with something. But, you know, you are so protected. You just got to line things up and filter through love, right? BLTs for supper. I'll tell you about supper in a minute. Okay, number 2, Mom. Mom. Just a mom. Just a mom. Whoa, Crowley. I'm going to pick the one up that went on the floor because those are usually the ones that want to be heard the first. And you got 2 cards. You got 2 cards, Mom. The initiation and trust your path. I'm not even going to read what's on the bottom of these. The initiation, Mom, is you're facing some trials right now. But what you need to know is to pull up your bootstraps and meet them levelly, because it's an initiation. Okay? It's an initiation that you're going to have to go through so that you can find and trust your path. The initiation, whatever it is you're going through, you're going to come out on top if you understand that this is just a challenge, like a game almost. Not a game. I don't like to say the word game. But this is a challenge, like a quest that you have to face and go through, because at the end of it is your path. And your path will be revealed. And your path, like many people here, is the path of light and love and sharing wisdom. Okay? Your wisdom. Hi, Pam. How are you? Pioneer Girl. Foxy Lady, if you're a lady. Stacy Robbins. Cal, hey, honey. I have one more. 3, Colette. 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 Whoa! Oh, there we go. Do you see that fly? Oh, Colette. You got the happy family. Now, you see where everybody's like, you know, hand in hand and facing the future, and they're a happy family. You work really hard, Colette, sometimes at the expense of your own feelings, to make sure you have, or that anybody in your family that you are connected with feels your love, feels your you want your family to be happier, and you do everything you can to make your family happy, but stop doing it at the expense of your own feelings. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because on the surface this is a really happy card, you know, happy shiny people kind of thing. But the truth is sometimes the happiness is coming at your expense, and that's not balanced, darling. To be truly a happy family, you need to put yourself in the center of your life and love yourself, respect yourself enough not to accept unacceptable behavior. And I say this a lot because once you love yourself enough not to accept unacceptable behavior, Colette, it means that everything before you becomes that much clearer, and you're working from a place of love. If you don't love yourself, you can't show other people love for next. Does that make sense? And who? Okay, I'm glad it makes sense. Cal! Oh, geez, look at that. It flipped right over. Cal, you got the same card as last time, if I'm not mistaken. Cal, cornucopia. Are you trying to hold on to something that isn't necessarily a part of your blessing? Because you have a cornucopia of blessings that you need to look at and count. But you are, instead of looking at all of your blessings, you're looking at the one thing you got no control over. Okay? Turn around. Look at what you have. Okay? You'll be much happier for it. Didn't you get that card last time, Cal? All right, I have to take a card break, guys. I didn't even smudge, so I'm going to smudge. I'm glad the cards made sense. I got to turn my fan off while I smudge here. My smudge stick is falling apart, so I only take a little piece of sage. It only takes a little bit. And let's cleanse the chat, cleanse the cards. Smoke with sacred white sage. Please cleanse these cards. Cleanse me. Let my message be clear and full of love. And may you lift our hopes and dreams on your smoke to the Creator. Okay. Now I can turn my fan back on and go behind my fan for a minute. Hey, Rosie, how are you? I'm changing it day by day, counting my blessings. Good. I'm glad to hear it, sweetheart. Butterfly! I know, honey. This weather does not help the fibro. Trust me. My fibro flare is gone. It was one of the fastest fibro flares. It lasted from when I went to bed until about midday the next day, like when I say the 3 or 4 o'clock. Sage, Ann Johnson. Sage. It is sage. It is white sage, sacred to the native people. And for all those folks who might say, who are new, who might say, oh no, that's evil and that's wicked. No, it's not. Okay? Incense has been used for hundreds of thousands of years for the sake of cleansing, and it's used in churches too. So I'm okay in the heat, thank God. It started cooling down. Well, Butterfly Rainbows. I love that name. I love that name. Carol, hi. Lori. Sharon, it's in the 90s here in Tennessee. I have a jam sale tomorrow. It's going to be hot. Make sure. This has been 1 cup. I know it's a big 30-ounce mug. Like, it's the size of my face. But I've had 1 cup of tea today. I've been drinking mostly water. We've had sun and heat for the last 2 days. Well, we're supposed to get rain on Friday. Tomorrow's Friday, isn't it? I'm missing a day because of the long weekend. My daughter went to an event in which a white woman was using sage but wouldn't call it smudging because it has it's cultural appropriation. It's getting cultural appropriation. Well, what if I show up in cornrows? Is that okay. There's no such thing as a cultural appropriation, guys. Somewhere in my long list of ancestors is a Native Canadian. I do believe her name was Elizabeth Canoe of the Georgina Island Ojibwe or Anishinaabe. Okay? But even if I didn't, it's not cultural appropriation. What the hell is going on with people? What's wrong with sharing culture? Cultural amalgamation, cultural sharing, cultural learning. I watched actually a guy I knew in high school. His name is, isn't that awful? Drew Hayden Taylor. And he did a documentary on a place in Germany that celebrates the native people in Germany. Celebrates North American native people, and they wear the clothes and they do the dances. And some people think it's cultural appropriation, but it's not. They're just celebrating what they think is so wonderful about it. And you know what? Native people go to this place. But we got to stop. Cultural appropriation. What a woke phrase. Does everybody know what woke means? Let me know if you don't know the difference between woke and awake. Yeah, Throwback Thursday, hey! If done with respect, I believe that we can share cultural practices. It's a world of culture after all. That's the point. They have spent the last 6,000 years trying to drive wedges between people. Religious wedges, cultural wedges, skin color wedges. Do you understand? It's no such a thing. The only wedges are up here, if we allow them. The only things we need to do in life are to love. What is wrong? Okay? What is wrong with that? Frida, hi! Good night. Are you leaving? Or are you just not happy? I'd like to know if you're leaving because you got to go, or if you're leaving because you don't like the topic of conversation. Well, I guess if you don't have to tell me anything, right? Because normally when people say, this is just not me, this is sacrilegious or whatever, and they leave, I always say, you didn't have to tell us that. So yeah, you don't have to tell us why you're leaving. I bought a pool this summer. Saw your video. Isn't it refreshing? Oh yes, Anne. Oh yes. And I went out in my garden today, and and pruned my zucchini, and I watered the garden. Then I went for a swim, and I thought I had cracked something, and so I was really careful getting out, but think I'm going to figure it out. But, well, are you in Australia, Catherine? The false prophets and all this woke shit. Okay, does anybody? Don't be afraid to admit if you don't know the difference between woke and awake in a clear and concise language. Well, honey, the younger generation was brought up on TV and video games, weren't they? And it's our fault. I let my kids have computers and video games long before I should have. Long before I should have. I should have had them. Well, Briar used to help me in the garden, right? Arthur grew up hating chickens because I made him feed and water chickens when he was 6 and 7 years old. He hated them, right? South Australia, I have family in New South Wales. And actually, my great nephew is in Peterborough right now, and his dad, my nephew, will be down in the next week or so, and I wish we could afford to go down and see them. I wish we could. But I love squash relish. Me too. I've got 4 beds of zucchini. Well, not zucchini. I've got yellow zucchini, black beauty zucchini, and I have yellow crookneck squash. And I love it. I'm addicted to it. And I mean, it can't be a bad thing to be addicted to zucchini, right? So I'm going to say it just in case nobody wants to, just in case, okay? Because there's new names in here. Awake, like we are, okay, means that the truth takes precedence over how you feel about things. The truth takes precedence over feelings. Woke is feelings take precedence over truth. I'm going to slam this one right now. All right? Now, everybody knows that I have a non-binary friend, I have a drag queen friend, and I have a gay friend. And my gay friend has actually been married together with the same man for 4 years. But we dated in high school. Okay? We dated in high school. Well, not 40 years, 30 years. We dated in high school. And we're still very dear friends. Absolutely, Holly. Absolutely. Let me finish the story and I'll absolutely do that. Now, Matt Walsh has gone around the North America asking people what is a woman. Well, a woman is anyone who identifies as a woman. Is it? No, it's not. You can identify, you can be a man identifying as a woman, but you have to know what a woman is before you can identify. And a woman is an adult human female. Full stop. And if somebody comes and says, well, then I identify as an adult human female or an adult human male, and they're the opposite sex, you say you can identify as whatever you want, but you can't be that. See, we made the mistake of telling our children they could be anything they wanted to be. Oh, we forgot to mention they can't change your sex. You can change your sex. You can change your outside to match what you think you feel on the inside. But whatever happened, what was wrong with just being gay? Right? So now, if Matt Walsh, you see this, all right? I am an adult human female with XX chromosomes. That's what makes me a woman. If you were born with XY chromosomes, you're a man. Anything else is fluff on the furniture and your decisions. Your decision. Right? You can identify, be a woman and identify as a man. You can be that. But you can't be a man because you have XX chromosomes. So everyone's going around, well, what is a woman? No one can answer what is a woman. It's an adult human female with XX chromosomes. That's it. Let's get those thumbs up. Hi, Della. How are you? Robin Rose, Freaky Geek. All right, Holly. My choice. Okay. Ooh. Let's see if Holly wants. Wow, that one almost came out. We'll see. All right. There's cards wanting to jump for you, Holly. Holly Clements. They didn't come right out, though. Holly. Maybe it isn't these cards. Whoops. Holly. Whoa. I'm back. The phone rang. Hey, Karen. Whoops, there we go. No, that wasn't it. They were stuck together. I'm not a scientist, but I think my X's are smaller than the Y chromosomes. I don't get it. Bev, 1 TJ. I can't read that many cards, Linda Bob. I really can't. It's too hot and I'm okay. This is for Holly. Holly, you got 2. And they both came up right. Door to Value. And the Archangel Shamuel. Now, if you don't know me, folks, if you don't know me, I don't read the cards by the books. I'm an intuitive reader. And I don't design the imagery on these cards. So don't blame me for the imagery. These are just a tool, okay? The Door to Value. Now, as you can see, you've got an open door there, and there's lots of money on this side of the door, but there's gold on the other side. We have money no longer has the value it used to have. Yes, we have to have money. Now listen, Holly, because I don't know what this means, all right? You can have lots of money and still have nothing of value. Do you understand? Money is not the root of all evil. It's greed for money, all right? Beyond the door, I'm getting the feeling that you're working so hard to make ends meet and to save up money that you're missing the value of things in your life. Go with your gut. Listen. Stop buying stuff. I don't know why I'm saying this. Stop buying stuff that has little or no value just because it's cheap. Listen to your guts. Buy what you need. And I feel like you're on a path to... I feel like you're starting to listen to your guts about what's going on in the world, and you need to prepare, but money isn't the preparation you need. Okay, money's going to become useless. What you need is to know things of value. All right? I hope that made sense. I hope that made sense, because I feel like you're struggling between worth and value. Okay? What something's worth financially rather than what its value is. Right? Like my radio. Okay? I paid only $10 for it. But that had a lot of value that I didn't recognize at the time. And I wish I still had it, because I wouldn't have sold it for love nor money if I had it today. So I hope that makes sense. I don't know if that made any sense at all. But I wish they had an applause button. Oops. So here's the thing. Here's the deal. I'm going to pull a bit of little Patera in the Appalachia homestead here. We need to not just wake up. Okay, Holly, thank you. It could go for a lot of us, yes. Right? Like, to me, money's just a tool. It's a bitch when you don't have it, but you make do. Right? The thing is we should pay attention to the things. Now, this is for everybody. We should pay attention to the things that we do when we don't have the money. What do we do when we don't have money? I would have loved to order out salads and stuff tonight. I would have loved to have done that because it was too hot to cook, but I didn't have the money and I had to cook. So I kept it real simple. But the truth is, if we pay more attention to the things we do when we have no money, pay attention to that, because you're using knowledge that may be new or rusty or childhood in your memory, but they're soon going to be taking away our money. Money is going to be a thing of the past if we allow it. They want everything to be digital so they can have us under their control. Because the truth is, I do all my banking. I rarely have cash, but I'm not stupid, right? If everything goes digital and cash is no longer accepted, what happens when the power goes out? What happens? Oh, I saw Jim Carrey in a video talking about AI, and I just loved it. And I love Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey. He's got a lot of emotional places that I recognize, dark places that I recognize. But he said, oh, AI is going to be great. Cars are going to drive themselves. Soon there'll be no steering wheels on them. And if you have overdue parking tickets, the car will drive you right to the police station. Okay? 15-minute cities. They're trying to get everybody to move into the city in sections where everything you need is within a 15-minute walk, because they're going to start taking away our fueled vehicles. They want everybody to drive electric cars, okay? Or ride bikes, or be within 15 minutes walking distance. Well, 15-minute walking distance for a healthy person is me walking to the end of my driveway. Takes me 15 minutes, okay? So, okay, Rosie, take care, sweetheart. That card sound, yes, and that's the thing, right? So instead of being afraid of what's coming down the pipe, whether it's coming or not, it's our common sense guts that are telling us, you know what, I need to put more food on my shelf. You know what, I need to hold on to my land. Like Howie and I were talking about moving. Because if Trudeau gets in again, I don't want to live in this country. The only place I'd feel safe in this country is probably Alberta, because Alberta seems to be the freedom fighter for the rest of the country, right? And if that doesn't work, it's Texas, or, well, Howie said Florida. And I said, Florida's sinking. Now listen, Florida ain't sinking. Do you know how we know Florida ain't sinking? Because they wouldn't give you a 30-year mortgage if the land you're on was going to be underwater in 30 years. They wouldn't give you a mortgage. Listen to the bank. Look at the loan officers. Right? So if the oceans rise, the climate's going to do what the climate's going to do, because it's always done what it's going to do and what it does. And it goes in cycles, just like our lifetimes have cycles. We have the birth year, the walking, like the birth year, the walking year, the eating year, the weaning year, you know what I mean? The year of puberty, the year of this, the year of that. And we have cycles in our life from birth to death. We live out a cycle. Well, so does the planet. We're part of this planet. And I don't understand why, yes, pollution is a problem. Let's clean up the bloody oceans. Let's stop letting people burn stop fining people with a carbon tax because they drive a vehicle. Because the big companies that are putting all this pollution into the air, they just pay the fine. They don't give a shit, because they pass the money, they pass the expense onto the consumer, and it goes on, and the beat goes on. So we have to start taking back our autonomy with our health, our medicine, our food, our land. Now, I only have 4 requirements. 4 requirements for me to live somewhere. Right? The wonder years, yeah. I have 4 requirements. I don't care if it's a double wide home as long as it's got a double wide mobile home as long as it's got a roof on it. I don't need a basement anyway. But I need a dug well. I need a swimming pool, and I need a place to garden. That's all I need. A wood stove, a place to garden, a dug well, and a pool. That's all my needs in a nutshell. E-bikes are catching fire. I don't even want to talk about it, right? The making of those batteries, the mining that goes on to make the electric car batteries creates probably 60 to 70% more pollution mining the stuff for the batteries than the battery saves. All right, makes more pollution mining the stuff, the nickel and the cadmium and the all that stuff they need for these electric batteries. The mining process puts out 60 to 75% more pollution than the mining operation for the lithium and all that stuff. So, and if the battery catches on fire or dies, it creates more pollution in one battery fire than my truck will make in its entire lifetime. So what's the deal with all these electric cars? What's so exciting about them? And if you think our power grids are insufficient now, what's going to happen when they want to plug everybody in? Right? You can have all your requirements in East Tennessee. Don't tell Howie that. Because you know what? If Trudeau gets in again, we're selling everything. We're selling everything. We're loading the coach and we're getting out of here. And we may go to the U.S. and say, please, we're political refugees from an approaching communistic country. But that's only if Biden doesn't get back in, too. Right? So I'm in the hill. I love where I am. The only problem is I have a basement that needs looking after that I can't look after. Because I have everything I need right here. I have a garden that the deer don't touch. Why? Because my raised beds are on my septic bed, which had to be built up because it's on a ravine. So they can't get up from the back. They can't get in from the side because my house has got an L-shaped addition. And to get to my garden, they'd have to walk right by my window. Deer are not stupid. Bears, they'll take fruit. Mama bear brought her 3 cubs and ate all my pears. But is Canada worse than the U.S.? I have no idea how bad it is in the U.S. All I know is that with the NDP party supporting Trudeau, he has all the majority votes in the House. And that should be illegal. That should be illegal. Because he's a moron. He's an empty-headed drama coach who hates Canadians. His dad, Pierre, now, the one who gave him his name, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, was a prick of a man. But one thing he was pro-Canadian. All Trudeau can see is money, money, money. I'm going to be a prince among princes in the world. Kissing China's ass, right? This all the things that we see that are going on, okay? If you think for 1 minute that you know even this much, if you think you know the truth behind Biden and Trudeau and what's his face that got kicked out of Parliament in England, Boris, I think his name was, or whatever. If you got a glimmer of the truth of what's going on, that's the tip of the iceberg. And if you remember, there's the tip. The iceberg goes like this down here. It's like, look over here. Look over here. Do you see what my left hand's doing? Hi, how's it going? La 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 la. I know. I've heard. Now, I've heard rumors. These are just rumors, but I've heard rumors that they're going to try and assassinate Trump, so he won't get back in next year. Look after that man. They don't plan to plug everyone in. They plan on unplugging a lot of us and already talking new lockdown. Oh yeah, be ready. You know what the new lockdowns are going to be? They're going to be climate lockdowns. They're going to start canceling outdoor concerts and outdoor kind of entertainment venues and picnic areas and everything. Why? Because it's too hot. It's bad for your health. The temperatures have not changed more than 1 to 2 degrees in 50,000 years. Don't ask me where I get my research. I work hard for this research. You do your own. The temperatures have not changed more than 2 degrees in 50,000 years. And guess what? We're 2 degrees colder than we were 50,000 years ago. So whenever someone I saw on the Power and Politics, highest, wherever it was, highest temperature in known recorded history. Bull crap. Let's talk about the Dust Bowl. Let's talk about the droughts. Let's talk about, and don't think weather can't be manipulated, because it can. So what I'm saying, folks, is do your own thinking. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm telling you to think. Think. Do you know what that means? The first thought. Then take it a step further. And then follow that thought all the way down the line to its conclusion. Kind of like hopping on the tailgate of a garbage truck to catch a ride. You don't have to ride that garbage truck all the way to the dump to know where it's going. You can get off anytime. You know what? It doesn't matter. They mess with the like they've been whoever is the one who puts the company that puts out all the weather statistics on temperatures and everything over the last 20, 30, 40 years, whatever. They've monkeyed the numbers by a degree. And this is all they have to do, is they drop a degree off the national or the world temperature clock before 2000, and they put it up 1 degree in 2019. And if you think that 2 degrees doesn't make a difference in the calculations, oh my God, the Earth's going to burn to a cinder! Well, if it does, it's meant to be, doesn't it? If the world comes to an end, if we come to an end, we're just going to move on. And the earth will fix herself. She always has. Right? There's extinction level events that go on beyond. They're just now figuring out how old, how long man's been on the planet, and how long dinosaurs have been around, and what came before dinosaurs, and all that stuff. We have only been recording for... Yes, exactly. The guy who founded the Weather Channel says climate change is fake. Thank you! Yet I have family that will hang up the phone on me if I say climate change is... Not climate change. The climate crisis is a hoax. You think I haven't seen hot weather like this before? I've been around 59 years. I lived in Toronto, where the concrete traps the heat. Okay? I worked, when I was pregnant with Arthur, or just before, when I was pregnant with Arthur, I was working in a screw machine shop in Weston, Ontario. And it got up to 103 degrees in the shade, Fahrenheit. It was like 37 or 38 degrees Celsius. And my boss walked in the shop, even though it was air conditioned. He walked in the shop and he said, everybody punch out and go home. They said, why? He said, because it can, he said, the temperature, even with the air conditioning, can get up. This is, the temperature is too high to work in. So go home. Now, that was in 1987. So, Even if you Google it. So this is something else I'm going to show you guys. If you really want some true, don't, I use Google all the time. Google, supports, YouTube is owned by Google. But I'm going to tell you something. If you really want some truth, if you really want to find some stuff and not have stuff that's been monkeyed with, go here. Use this search engine. Keep it in your bookmarks. If you want to search something like Project Bluebeam or Project Blue Book or something like that. Now, you don't have to believe a word I said. But if I've given you food for thought or made you want to hunt for the truth, then I've done my job, haven't I? I've also done my job if you know that love is the only thing that can kill hate and fear. Real love. The love that the Father has for us, or even that the Creator has for us. Real love. The real love that says, you can't lie to me because I love myself too much. All right? You don't get to treat me that way. I don't care if you're a prime minister or my child. You don't get to treat me that way because I love myself too much to allow that behavior. Then I've done my job, right? And if you know that I love you, even though I don't know you, or I don't know all of you, or I've never seen your face, doesn't stop me from praying every night that my YouTube family and friends are safe and awake and getting ready. Because if nothing happens, then we've got a full pantry. But if something does happen, we've got a full pantry. You feel me? And please, 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 the more we shop at the large grocery conglomerates, the more the noose tightens around us. I only go to the grocery store when I can't do what I can do on my own. Yes, I buy bread. I bake it all winter long. I won't bake in the summer. I'll get sick with the heat. But know that I love you, and know that you're smarter than all the propaganda that's out there. All you got to do is love yourself enough and use some critical thinking not to accept the bullshit that's being shoveled. Right? If we could shovel half the stuff, if we could put in bags half the crap that comes out of Trudeau's mouth, we could keep this planet green forever. This is Mrs. Wolfe from Life with the Wolfes saying, think, think, think. And then do what's best for you. Take care, God bless. And know you're loved and prayed for daily.